These cards represent the best decision the Pokemon Company ever made, ending Rainbow Rare cards. Because instead of these lazy, recycled Rainbow cards, we received the incredible illustration rare cards featuring unique and gorgeous art collectors actually wanted. And not surprisingly, we're seeing some of the top illustration rare cards like this Magikarp emerge as some of the top chase cards from modern sets. A feat that hasn't been accomplished by a Rainbow Rare card since the Charizard VMAX Rainbow Rare from Champion's Path. Look, clearly, I don't like Rainbow Rare cards, and I'm so glad they're gone. But deciding to end them wasn't just brilliant because it gave us better cards and better sets, it also saved the future of Rainbow Rare cards. And in today's video, I'm going to break down why one day in the far future, collectors may even begin to covet Rainbow Rare cards again. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how you can take advantage of this insight to get the most from your hard-earned collecting dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, I buy cardboard, and I make collecting and investing in Pokemon simple. Throughout the history of Pokemon, there have always been card styles that, despite their rarity, simply weren't loved by collectors. For example, the break cards from the XY era. I don't need to go into the details here. One look at these cards and you immediately understand why nobody liked them. But some examples are a lot more complicated, like the Legendary Collection Reverse Holos. Introduced in 2002, the Legendary Collection was a reprint set featuring popular cards from the base set, Jungle, Fossil, and Team Rocket sets. But more than 20 years later, the Legendary Collection is best known for introducing us to Reverse Holo cards, which quite literally exploded onto the scene with some of the most extreme Reverse Holo patterns we've ever seen in Pokemon, now known as the Fireworks pattern. While certainly eye-catching, this pattern draws more attention to itself than to the Pokemon card art, and for players it makes reading card text nearly impossible. And since all the cards in this set were reprints, collectors at the time simply didn't care for them, and the cards were largely ignored by the Pokemon community. So why, in 2024, does a PSA 10 Reverse Holo Pikachu from Legendary Collection sell for more than $4,000 US? This is a classic case in collectibles known as the late bloom effect, when an overlooked item becomes highly desirable and collectible over time. And there's a couple important factors that contribute to this effect. One, nostalgia begins to create more desire for these old objects. Two, the tastes of the collecting community change, and in this case, the bold design of the Fireworks Holo that was so polarizing at release has become highly desirable today. And three is actually the most important driver of these prices, and that's the supply dynamics of the Legendary Collection Reverse Holos. See, the Legendary Collection was considered a filler product, essentially buying WotC time between the end of the Neo era sets and the release of the first E-Series set. Ultimately, the set just wasn't that popular, and as a result, WotC printed less of it. On top of that, even though there's a guaranteed Reverse Holo hit in every pack, the pull rates for any one Reverse Holo card, say the Reverse Holo Charizard, is actually quite low. It's 1 in 110 packs. When we compare this to the Holo Rare hits that were found in 1 in every 3 packs, with 16 Holo Rare cards in the set, that means the Holo Rare Charizard had a 1 in 48 pull rate. It's actually more than twice as likely to be pulled than the Reverse Holo version of that same card. And there's still one more important driver of these massive prices for PSA 10 examples of Legendary Collection Reverse Holo cards: card damage. With a glossy, holo finish across the majority of the card, it was so easy to damage them. Even pack-fresh cards are more likely to have damage either from their storage and transportation or just straight from the factory. And that's why the Reverse Holo Pikachu has only 881 graded copies with a mere 34 or less than 4% at a PSA 10 grade. That low supply is a huge driver of these high prices today. So we've seen how an unpopular card type can become valuable over time. Is it possible we could see this for my rainbow rare cards as well? Maybe they could be another late bloomer. And I think the facts do put that as a real possibility for these cards. I mean, let's revisit those three factors that drive the late bloom effect. One, nostalgia. Rainbow rare cards have a highly recognizable style that really stands out in a collection. They're also released in two distinct versions, the Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield versions of rainbow rares. These eras already stand out in collectors' minds as the modern card eras of one of Pokemon's largest booms ever. I, for one, started collecting again in the early Sword and Shield era, and I will always remember that era fondly as a result. As a distinct card style that represents such an important time in my and many other collectors' Pokemon histories, yeah, I think rainbow rares could absolutely benefit from nostalgia over the long term. Two, collector tastes. At the end of the day, a rainbow rare card simply stands out. The silver and rainbow sheen is truly unique, and the texture really helps it pop. And despite my criticism as what I feel is a copy and paste card style with recycled art, you can't deny that there's incredible visual cohesion between these cards, and that building a binder, a collection of the rainbow rare cards from each era is sure to stand out and look amazing in any collector's possessions. And over time, I think collectors will look back at these positively as a really cool collectible category from a very special time in Pokemon. What we're less likely to see are the same supply dynamics that have made the Legendary Collection Reverse Holos just so valuable. But that's the reality of all modern cards when compared to vintage Pokemon cards of the late 90s and early 2000s. With Pokemon's current international popularity, we know there are just far more cards printed. And with so much awareness of the high-value vintage cards, more collectors than ever before are taking great care of their cards, which is going to help fuel far more PSA 10 examples than ever before. And that's on top of the improved print quality that we see today. But the lack of the supply dynamic doesn't mean that the other qualities of these cards won't make them a strong late boomer. If the market's sentiment for rainbow rare cards changes enough, the values are sure to go up with it. So, what should you do about rainbow rare cards? Does this information mean you should go out and buy a bunch right now? I don't know. Like it or not, purchasing any Pokemon card product in the hope that it'll be worth more in the future is just speculation. As we've seen in this video, I can develop a justification for why these cards will be worth more in the future. And you know what? I might even believe it. But it's all just a story I've created, and only time will tell if it comes true. Experienced collectors will often tell you, just buy what you like. And the truth is, I don't like rainbow rare cards. But if you do, then sure, go ahead and buy them. Buy some extras or build a small position if you want to treat it as an investment. We can reconnect in 10 years and see how it all worked out. Because I do love speculating on Pokemon, but I try to remind myself how crazy it all is, and that historical trends don't guarantee the same future trends. And I guess that's what this video has been about all along. If you like thoughtful Pokemon card content, give me a like and subscribe for more content. Don't forget to hit that bell to be notified of new content just like this. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, I buy cardboard, and I'll see you in the next video.